Head over to miniaturemarket.com where they have thousands of board games at discounted prices like Ready, Set, Bet. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Just got back from Gen Con. You might tell from my voice, I got sick while I was there. I started feeling bad like the day I arrived, and then from setup day, I got there on Tuesday, setup day Wednesday. Every day after that I felt worse and worse and worse. So I ended up having to change my flight, coming home a day early. Usually I come home on Sunday, but I had to change my flight, come home Saturday. However, I get most of my stuff done on setup day. 90% usually. I did again this year, and I get the rest of it done before the hall even opens on Thursday. And so usually by the time the doors open and Gen Con starts for most people, I'm pretty much done with everything I got there to do. And so I got to spend Thursday all day and all night, Friday all day, all night, even a little bit on Saturday once I got home, even though I felt terrible, playing all the hottest things that I got there so I can bring a bunch of content to you as fast as possible after Gen Con. So excuse my voice, but let's get started with some of this hot content from Gen Con. Today, we're going to the horse tracks because we're going to be watching horses run. We're going to be betting on them in real time. We're also going to be betting on proposition bets. We'll be VIPs and getting special abilities, and we're going to have some special endings that we're going to be betting on too. Let's take a look at Ready, Set, Bet. This is John D Clair's newest game. This is like his first party game, and AEG and them, they do a lot of stuff. So let me show you how this one's played. I'll see you on the other side. In Ready, Set, Bet, we're going to be 4 races. And each of these races are going to have these horses running down, getting past a bet line, and hopefully finishing, where you're going to be betting on which ones are going to finish where. You're also, over the course of the game, going to be using some VIP special abilities as well. Now, over the course of the game, you're going to be betting in real time on different things that might happen. For example, during the race, you might think that horse number 6 is going to win. Well, you can bet here, but how sure are you? Do you think it's maybe not that sure? Or do you think it's really sure? Because this base is going to multiply whatever you put here by 3. If I put this here and 6 comes in first, you're going to get $15. But if I put here, I'll put 6. But let's say other players thought that it was going to win and they got there before you, but you still think they're going to win. You can bet here, but not only you're going to get the same thing here, like 6, but if this doesn't happen, you're going to lose 2 coins. This player is going to lose $1. So the better bets are earlier, so the earlier you make a bet without knowing as much as other people, usually you're going to win more or lose less if you don't get it. But maybe, you know what, I'm not sure if they're going to win. I'll say to place. This means if they come in first or second, you'll get 2 times 2, but if it's not right, you'll get -4. Or maybe you want to play it really safe and say, I think that horse is going to come in show. That's first, second, or third. I'll win less, but I'll possibly lose nothing there too. Or maybe I'll lose 2, for example. Or a tricky spot. Maybe you really think horse number 7 is going to come in second, at least. Well, this is risky. It's 5 times 2, I'd get 10, but I'll lose 5 if he doesn't come in at least first or second place. So there's lots of different things to think about on the board of what's available, but if it's real time, you're going to be fighting with other players, trying to beat them to the punch, or wait a little bit to get more information. Now, each place can only have 1 betting token on it, including these. This is like any blue horse wins, or orange horse, or red horse, or the 7 horse finishes 5th or worse. Now each round there's also proposition bets that come out from this deck. So each of the 4 races are going to have different prop bets. Like this one is you'll win 3 times what you put here if the 11-12 horse beats the 6. Or 3 times if 5 beats 7, 2 or 3 beats 9, 6 beats all the blues, or 8 beats both the oranges. Again, only one person can bet here, win that times your multiplier of what you put there, or possibly just lose that many dollars. Also, each race is an exotic finish, which is going to be something you can bet on depending on what you think might be happening towards the end. Like tight race, all horses move 6 or more spaces. Towards the end, if you think this is going to happen, you can bet here. This one can actually hold 3. You'll get 6 times this, or if it doesn't happen, you'll get -2. In each of the 4 races, a new one will come out. So by the 4th race, you're going to have 4 different things to think about here, plus all the prop bets, plus all the normal bets. Now, at the end of each race, everyone's going to be collecting money or paying money, depending on what they've done there. But at the end of each race, each player's going to get 2 of these VIP cards. And they're going to allow them to pick one thing. Like, hey, high roller, you can keep this. Then your bets to win pay additional 1 times for red, 2 times for orange, or 3 times for blue. So if you think you're going to be wanting to pick for a winner, you keep this card. Or this one says, hey, you know what? When you play this card, you gain that card's thing. So your first card's 9, your second card's 6, your third card's 4. You can kind of collect these for set collection and get just straight up money. Lots of different things that you can do here. You select one of these, but you keep them. So every round, after every race, you're getting 2 of these and keeping one. So by the last race, you have a bunch of these different things, giving you even more information and more things to bet with. So how does the race actually work? Well, it's real time. One player is going to be the house and running this board. I'll show you how they can bet later, but they're going to be rolling this and calling it out. Like they'll say number 9 and they'll push it like this. And then they roll another one and they say, ooh, it's a 7, so it goes like this. Now, if a number is rolled twice in a row, so let's say we roll a 3 and we go like this. Now let's say we roll the dice again and another 3 comes up. It'll move, but if you get it twice in a row, you get a bonus. This goes 3 more plus the 1 that it got. And this is what balances it out, because naturally 7's going to get rolled the most, and all the way out gets rolled less and less, but the bonuses for those are more. So when these things get rolled twice in a row, they're going to shoot up and keep everything somewhat balanced there. And when you're doing this, there's, a lot of fun in doing this. Like you might be calling them, like, oh, no, 11's out of the box and they're coming up the end. 2 and 3's way in the lead and number 9 is going up. Look at number 9 in second place. It's sniffing 2 and 3 tail. Now we're coming up with number 8. 8's up there looking lefty to number 7 going, get out of my way, number 7. And we got number 5 coming up there. And we got number 7 again saying, get off my back, number 8. So you do it like that and you have fun with it. Now there is an app you can use if nobody wants to run the race like that. And it just does it quietly. But that's pretty much how you run it. This bet line, the round ends as soon as any one horse gets here, it ends. But if 3 horses pass this line, nobody can bet for the rest of the race, and it will end once one horse wins, first, second, third, for example. Now the house player, they can play along too. They get these special bet tokens they put out before the race starts. They have no knowledge, but they're balanced because the numbers are higher than what the other players get, and things would work the same way. But they don't block this, so other players can come in here and still bet 1 for each place like normal, but they get to bet like this. Now they would still lose money if they aren't correct, but they have possibly ways to gain more money, and they can place them on ones that don't have negative money. They can also put them on the prop bets or the exotic finishes as well. Plus, since they're not using VIP cards, they get extra money on rounds. Depending on which race they are the caller, they get money just for not being able to use these cards. You can have different people call each of the 4 races or keep one person running the whole thing, and that's pretty much how you play Ready, Set, Bet. But before I go, I want to show you a video of what this game really feels like, because this 40 seconds is going to tell you really, do you need this game or not? So this was us playing at Gen Con with designer John D Clair, with Man vs. Meeple and Rob from Blue Peg Pig Peg, having a blast the last 40 seconds of the race. Each of these races only lasts about 5 minutes. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the craziness.
Oh, there's a snake eyes moving along. There's another 9 in the
Come
second
on,
place.
9. Come on, 9.
10 advancing.
Yes, 10.
There's another 9.
Yes, no.
There's an 8 back into the
Take
lead.
an 8.
10 trying to gain.
Go
10 with a
yes.
bonus.
No.
7. There's another 8.
Oh, no.
Coming
No.
in. There's a 7. No
7.
one
Who
cares.
cares about 7?
11, 12. Gets a bonus.
Go
Doesn't
eight.
get a 2-3 way at the
Go
back.
eight.
There's an 8.
Eight.
2 more to go. 11, 12 needs a bonus.
no.
Not gonna
No,
get it.
11, 12.
4. 5 needs something here. 10.
Now, often people like to jump directly to my final thoughts. If that's you today, I highly recommend you just go back 1 minute and watch the 40-second clip I had of us playing this in real time, because that will give you the real feeling, and you'll know after watching just that little clip if this game is for you or not. But let me tell you what I liked about it. First of all, this was my number 2 most anticipated game at Gen Con, and honestly, a lot of times the games at the top of my list of those, it's kind of unfair, but they don't usually hold up. They don't meet the expectations because we put on a lot of times unfair expectations on games that we're like, oh, this is gonna be the best thing ever. And most of the time it just statistically can't happen. This breaks that mold. This not only met my expectations of being my 2nd most anticipated Gen Con release, it exceeded it. This game is flipping amazing. This is a game I'm gonna be playing literally for the rest of my life. This is a game that is unlike any other experience I've ever had in board games. This is the most memorable style experience. Hooting and hollering, jumping around, having stories of like number 7 was way out, and then the dice went cold and this other one came and you lost all your chips on 7. I waited and I got this thing. Kind of like how Camel Up sometimes has those stories where it's like this orange camel was on the bottom the whole time and finally was able to figure out a way to get on top of other camels and come back. I've seen crazy stories in that game. This has that opportunity, but this has an experience of real time and yelling that is not, I've not seen anywhere else. This feels like if Panic on Wall Street and Camel Up had a baby. Panic on Wall Street's a real-time stock negotiation game that's awesome, like Pit, but way better. Camel Up is a sort of a racing game with betting. This puts both of those together. It's awesome. I like that the tenseness of the game. You're waiting to get enough info to bet, but you're also trying to beat others to the punch. But you're not totally shut out because you have multiple bets on the same outcome. So you can wait a little bit, but every time someone bets on that thing that you want to do beforehand, the later bets, they're going to get you less or they're going to cost more if wrong, or both of those. So it's like you're constantly scanning and looking at the same time, but at the same time you're like, it's almost like a push your luck game at the same time, and it's a total gambling game. I love the exotic finish bets. One comes out each round, gives you one more thing to think about. Maybe it's a photo finish, or they got to be really close, or maybe it's a blowout, or maybe it's like, hey, none of the 4 horses didn't even get out of the box, really. Stuff like that. I like that. They're kind of extreme things that don't happen a lot, but gives you 5-time multipliers. They're great if you can hit those. They're great if you can hold off some of your bets to the end to see if those might happen. The prop bets, awesome. This probably adds the most complication to the game because every round you're getting a whole new set of those. You're looking at a bunch of those in addition to everything else, but they do work so well. They do add a layer of depth that gamers are going to be looking for, but you don't have to play with those. You could just play a very basic game with non-gamers. The VIP cards are awesome. End every round, get 2 cards, pick one ability. They stack, they work every round. Brilliant, genius. The house can also play. The one rolling the dice and running the game. They have a way of playing and winning. They got to bet before everyone else, but their distributions are better. It's really cool. And they also get money each round they do it, more and more, for not being able to use the VIP cards. Brilliant way to do that. You can play with up to 9 players with this game. 8, I think it's like 8 if you want the house player to play. But you're literally scanning lots of info in real time. I mean, you're thinking on the ball. There's a lot to think about, even though it's a light game. I love it. I love it. When I was in college, we used to play this thing called Running the Pooches. We would use a basic deck of playing cards, and we would do the same thing. We'd flip a card, and that suit, there were 4 dogs, and they'd race. We'd be hooting and hollering. This took that idea and just made it an amazing game. I don't have anything negative to say about this at all. Otherwise, other than real-time games aren't for everyone. Not everyone's going to want to be around a bunch of hooting and hollering people, jumping up and down, sweating, yelling, and doing stuff in real time. But you'll know if that's you. From watching that 40-second clip just before my final thoughts here, you'll already know if this game's for you or not. If it is for you, you're going to freaking love it. If not, this ain't for you. This is one of the best games I've played in years. It's just so amazing. The experience and what you'll be talking about afterwards, they really hit this out of the park. Ready, set, bet. For all these reasons, getting a saxophone serenade, so let's hit it. Game Toppers not only transforms your existing table to a high-quality gaming solution, they now offer full leg kits and dining cover solutions for the full table application. Paired with their amazing, thematic, premium stitch edge mats from noted board game artists like Vincent Dutray, collapsible cup holders, and really cool accessories, it's a complete system that upgrades every game you play. Go to GameToppersLLC.com or click the link below to late pledge for their latest Game Topper 3.5 Kickstarter campaign.